Testing, mic check. Cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns. Hello, hello, friendos. We are once again back for yet another Arknights stream. My name is Nez and welcome. Today's actually gonna be eventful because there's been some big news happening, but before we get to that, it is time for our short parasocial minute where I just catch you guys up on what I've been doing off stream, aka our One Piece update, because that's all I've been doing off stream. I have only been reading One Piece. So, where am I now? Last time I just got finished with Fishman Island, and as of now I've finished Punk Hazard. They are now in the new world. I'ma be brutally honest, I was not feeling Punk Hazard. in the first half. When the second action half started happening, it started picking up. And honestly, I was way more invested in the upcoming conflicts with the Emperors of the Sea. And even the Warlords, along with Traffy and all the other new Warlords. Apparently, Buggy's a Warlord now. Tumblr Sexy Man Buggy's a Warlord. For some ungodly reason, probably because of the infamy that he gained from Marineford. So, the dynamics have shifted, the worldly dynamics have shifted. Aokiji is no longer an admiral in the Navy. He got replaced. He moved on. However, we got some new power players afoot. We got Doflamingo puppeteering whatever happened on Punk Hazard, because they're trying to make artificial devil fruits. So, and the arc directly after that, the Dressrosa arc, it is so good. The setup was worth it. They are directly fighting against Doflamingo and his regime. It is quite literally about the proletariat being freed from slavery, raiding a toy factory, and then seizing the means of devil fruit production from the bourgeoisie, aka the celestial dragon family that is the Don Quixotes. So, I can't even believe how many people read One Piece and think, hey, there are absolutely zero politics here. Oda has nothing to say whatsoever. It's just a funny, silly pirate manga about the Gum Gum Man and his silly adventures with his crew. And even the cover story of this whole arc, it's about Caribou accidentally falling into the identity of a Che Guevara-inspired revolutionary leader, and then he is also freeing the proletariat and taking the means of production back from the Celestial Dragons. It is quite the same story. It is literally the same story as the one that's happening in the foreground. The cover story of Caribou. So, I don't see how there's any other way to interpret this arc. Aside from that, Oda is not escaping, is not beating the leftist allegations. That man is just putting his politics in his manga, and somehow people are still so blind and belligerent to it. But anyway, that should be our One Piece update. I'm still in the middle of Dressrosa. I'm in the climax portion. Climax or rising action, where the birdcage has been set down on Dressrosa, and they're on their way to try to fight Doflamingo, aka Psychotic Ken from Barbie, if he was a psychopath. I like Doflamingo. I can't wait for Doflamingo to ever show up in live action One Piece. He should be played by, what's his name? The guy who played Ken, and also K from Blade Runner. I forgot his name. He should definitely be played by that guy. Anyway, that is our One Piece update. But we have some big news, friendos, because some news hit the game development world. It has had some rippling effects. It will also have some rippling effects on Arknights and mobile games in general. In that, Unity, as in the game engine Unity, starting 2024, they're gonna start asking for a runtime fee from developers based on installs and the revenue that they make. And it caught everyone off guard, because this is a dumbass decision that could only be thought up by a greed-driven corporate ghoul that only cares about money and nothing else. Nothing about the craft, nothing about the industry. They only care about how can we make developers give us more money for using our game engine Unity. So we're going to be talking about this for the first portion of our stream. We have an article here by Steven Tutillo on Axios that'll help us get our bearings straight. It's still a developing story, so let's just pull this article up. Here we go. Let's full screen this. So, Unity rushes to clarify price increase plan as game developers fume. Not a great headline to start with. Unity, the tech company behind one of the most popular engines for creating video games, is scrambling to clarify how a price increase for its services will work, after its announcement Tuesday morning broadly infuriated the game development community. Oh yeah, there was a lot of flack. This is not just drama. This will affect the entire industry as we know it. Why it matters. The fees which Unity said are essential for funding development of its tech left many game makers wondering if having a hit game through Unity would cost them more money than they could make. Developers spoke throughout the day of delaying their games to switch to rival Epic Games' Unreal Engine or other services on X, or Twitter. God damn it. The platform formerly known as Twitter. But by the evening, Unity exec Mark Whitten was updating Axios on its policies, potentially defusing some concerns raised by creators. Diffusing some, creating more. We'll get to that later. Details. The new runtime fee announced Tuesday morning is tied to a player's installation of a game, an action that previously did not cost developers anything. With Unity's new plan, developers who use Unity's free tier of development services would owe Unity 0.2 cents per installation once their game hits a threshold of 200k downloads and 200k in revenue. Here we go, with the numbers. Developers paying over 2k a year for the Unity Pro plan would have to hit higher thresholds and would be charged with lower fees. Yeah, sure. Charge less for the rich ones. Yes. The new fee system will begin at the start of 2024. Yes, but game developers rallying on X, Twitter, began fuming immediately that any game enjoying a spike in installations if, you know, they have a big sale or their game goes viral, they're doing a big marketing campaign, anything like that, even an inclusion in a charity bundle or even trying to be included in a popular subscription service like the Game Pass. Think about Game Pass, you just pay a monthly subscription and millions of people could potentially download your game, and now you suddenly hit the threshold for owing Unity a certain percentage of your revenue. What the fuck is that? It would trigger back-breaking Unity fees. Stop it, development studio Innersloth, makers of hit game Amogus, tweeted Tuesday evening. This would not only harm us, but fellow game studios of all budgets and sizes. Another studio, AgroCrab, called on Unity to reverse its plans, saying that it feared that its next game, set for release to the 25 million subscribers on Game Pass, could backfire and incur fees that could threaten the stability of our business. So yeah, indie games are getting fucked, especially ones using Unity. Specifically ones using Unity. The intrigue? Unity has scrambled to clarify and in one key instance alter what it said about its policies around its fees. After telling Axios earlier Tuesday that a player installing the game and deleting it and installing it again would result in multiple fees, Unity's Whitten told Axios that the company would actually only charge for the first installation. So initially they said that multiple installations, regardless if you already owned the game, would incur more fees on the developer, and people just started realizing, hey wait, we could get 30,000 of our homies to reinstall and install Genshin Impact and bankrupt MiHoYo, but as fun as that sounds, that is a dumbass idea to give to absolutely anyone in the gaming space. So they walked it back. Of course they would. He hoped that this would allay fears of install bombing, where an angry user would keep deleting and reinstalling a game to rack up fees to punish a developer. That's an insane thought. But an extra fee will be charged if a user installs the game on a second device, say the Steam Deck, after installing the game on PC. Bro, what the fuck is that? They just want to milk game developers. Every single way. Runtime fees will not also be charged for installation of game demos, Whitten said, unless the demo is part of a download that includes the full game. So early access game will be included in the install charges? What the fuck? Early access games are supposed to be like development previews where games get continually developed upon, and not all early access games will ever exit early access. Games offered for charity included in charities will be exempt from the fees. Uni will provide a way for developers to inform Unity that their games are being offered that way. Yeah, sure. We'll trust Unity. We'll get to that more sooner or later. As for Game Pass and other subscription services, Witten said that developers like AgroCrab would not be off the hook as the fees are charged to distributors, which in the Game Pass would be Microsoft. So, yeah, dude. They're still charging for the download of the games, but they're gonna fight Microsoft for it. You got millions of downloads of your game on Game Pass? Yeah, we'll just extort Microsoft for it. There should be like trillions of downloads of individual games on that platform. And I don't think Microsoft will take that lightly. I don't think Microsoft will take that lightly, sitting down. Runtime fees will also not be charged for installation of game demos unless the demo is part of a download. Okay, we already read that. Witten estimates that only about 10% of Unity developers will wind up having to pay any fees, given if they reach the threshold. Yeah, the threshold itself is very arbitrary. 10%, sure buddy, sure. Our core point with this is simply that we want to make sure that we have the right value exchange. Wait. I'll read this in Mr. Everett's accent. Our core point with this is simply to make sure that we have the right value exchange so that we can continue to invest in our fundamental mission to make sure that we can deliver the best tools possible for people to make the great games. We're not scamming anyone, Mr. Dubois. It's not fun. Oh my god. It's not fun to get a bunch of angry feedback on any particular day, and I think... Hold up, let's do it again. It's not fun to get a bunch of angry feedback on any particular day, and I think that is us needing to clarify some of these points. But we're listening, and we will continue to make sure that we deliver the best that we can. Bullshit. Bullshit. This news in of itself just shook the entire gaming industry, because a lot of developers have spent years developing expertise in Unity as an engine, and just switching to a separate engine for your upcoming games is not a small ask. It's like layers and layers of years of learning and expertise built up just to have that expertise suddenly try to bite you in the back years later. It's not a good experience to be in. It's not a good position to be in, especially if you're a small-time game developer, if you're an indie developer that uses Unity to make your games. And the numbers, oh yeah, they say that only 10% of Unity developers will wind up paying this because, you know, the threshold. The threshold is so high. Like, we'll only extort you if you're an actual successful game developer. But that's discounting, you know, if games go viral, but they don't have the sustainability to keep up payments over the large amount of installs whenever they go viral. This potentially could cull and cripple a lot of game studios, and it could definitely cull a lot of independent freemium games, because we have a few excerpts here from a couple of developers weighing in. We have the developer of the indie game Dead Static Drive. Make a game. Game is freemium. Hold up. Make a game. Game is freemium. Game makes 200k from in-app purchases after being installed 3 million times. Now owe Unity 20 cents per 2.8 million installs, aka 560k. That's 360 more than you would have made. The numbers are so arbitrary. And I can bring up the numbers right now because I have the, what do you call that? I have the thing right here. Like, Unity runtime, this is a Unity runtime fee, and it says here that the minimum threshold for getting extorted is 200k installs and 200k revenue, and then it gets higher when you're on the higher Unity plan. But this is just so arbitrary, because even though they have these so-called fixed rates, the way they find out how much you're making or how much installs you have is completely arbitrary, because we have this thing over here. How are installs tracked? Asks Cactus VR Studios. We leverage our own proprietary data model, so you can appreciate that we won't go into that in a lot of detail, but we believe it gives us an accurate determination of the number of times the runtime is distributed for a given project. AKA, source, trust me bro, I know how much downloads you got, I know how much money you made based on our quote-unquote proprietary model, Mr. Dubois. Source, trust us bro, we know how much money you have, so give us that much amount of money. Which it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane, and this will affect so many games. It'll affect Arknights, it'll affect freemium games like Arknights, Genshin Impact, it'll affect Honkai, it'll affect Blue Archive, it'll affect standard games like Monster Prom, it'll affect what other Unity games are out there? Hollow Knight is a Unity game. Ori and the Blind Forest is a Unity game. It's retroactive too, so not only starting 2024, they're gonna start extorting people for installs moving forward. They're gonna extort people and game developers for installs and revenue made in the past. Everything. And they're just gonna say, trust us bro, we know exactly how much money you made based on our proprietary data model. Huh. Right. If you're wondering what kind of corpo ghoul would have this idea to do such a thing, Unity CEO John Riccitello, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I don't care how to pronounce his name, was an EA CEO when FIFA 09 launched with loot boxes. This guy made up the loot box system. He innovated the loot box system for FIFA. He practically invented the loot box system, the pay-to-win loot box system of FIFA Ultimate Team. And last year he said that devs making games without monetization are fucking idiots. Huh. In an EA shareholder meeting, he entertained the idea of charging $1 to reload an ammo clip in Battlefield. Holy fuck. This is cartoonish levels of villainy. Hello, friendos, Chujikiri and Seiya. Welcome, friendos. Just don't go viral as an indie dev, otherwise you're financially done. Yeah, just don't go viral. Just, forget about Among Us or Fall Guys. Forget about making games like that go viral and cost cheaply. Have a low retail price. Yeah, forget about that. Just don't try to reach for the stars and hope you don't get bankrupt by Unity in the process. I don't think it'll affect much for the boys, but mostly indie small studios will be hurt. Yes. So John, whatever his name is, Italians, I swear, Italians, mamma mia, why does it always have to be the Italians? The Italian CEOs trying to take away our precious money for our lovable indie game companies. Anyway. Holy fuck, what a ghoul. And, surprise, surprise, Unity CEO, on September 6th, the Unity CEO, John What's-His-Face, sold 2,000 shares of the company. This move is part of a larger trend for the insider, who over the past year has sold a total of 50k shares and purchased none. Huh. So a week ago, this guy sold 2k shares of his company, and then a week later he dropped some news that would tank the company's reputation within the whole global industry. Huh. That sounds a lot like insider trading. What the fuck? Bro, how does this rabbit hole go deeper? So yeah, this whole thing, it has shook the gaming industry because a lot of our favorite games are run on Unity. Arknights in Arknights itself is run on Unity. Many successful gacha games are run on Unity. And I'm predicting that if this does push forward in where they'll charge you a retroactive and moving forward fee based on your revenue and downloads, is that all the big gacha games, they're gonna afford this. Like, as the saying goes, a fine is a slap on the wrist for the rich and an actual punishment for the poor. So all the big gacha games that have made millions of dollars off of the gambling money that they got from predatory business practices, they're gonna be a-okay. They're gonna be fine. They can afford the slap on the wrist of the fine of paying Unity per download. However, the ones that'll actually be hurting are the indie developers, the ones that are launching new games on the market, because I'll predict a lot of niche and smaller freemium games are going to be culled if this pushes forward. If a gacha game, if a new freemium game has like 1 million downloads in its first month, but it only made, we'll go back to this post. Make a game. Game is freemium. Make 200k in purchases in the first month. It got downloaded 3 million times. Suddenly, you owe Unity way more than what you actually made just because of the downloads. It's per download. It's not a tier that you reach. It's per fucking download. This is insane. It makes making smaller games a lot more dangerous, because if your game goes viral, or if you have a marketing campaign that pushes it, but it doesn't have the sustainability in like the next year, it could be bankrupt by Unity alone. And that's just from the fees. Like, who thought this was a good idea? A fucking ghoul! A fucking corpo ghoul! This is wild. So, the big gacha games are not gonna be affected by this. Indie studios, smaller indie studios are gonna be the most affected, where games would have, depending on the size and price point of a game, of an indie game, it could actually be offset by the costs if more people are downloading and installing it than the money that it's bringing back into the devs' pockets. It's time to move to Godot. I don't know what Godot is. So yeah, this is insane news. And some of the funniest reactions from this news have actually come from other gacha game players. Because they're like, wow, look at this corporate greed and overreach. How dare Unity, a big corporation, overreach and try to make game developers pay more for using Unity. They are so greedy. Meanwhile, defending the gambling in a gacha game, my guys, you play gacha games and it's a glass house. Please extend the same criticism of corporate greed and overreach back to the games that we play. Please. Godo, he means you. Oh no! Are you the next big game engine, Godo? I don't know. Hello, friendos. So yeah, gacha game players, I don't know. They're very funny. It's like they're criticizing Unity, but at the same time, they turn a blind eye to the same kinds of corporate greed and overreach that gacha game companies do to make people gamble and spend thousands of dollars in these types of games. I don't know. It's just a funny observation that I've made. And as usual, friendos, I'm not the type of person to empathize with gacha game companies because of the type of monetization that they choose to use on consumers. But by far, indie game companies are still the biggest victims of this. Let's not forget that. We can celebrate that, ha 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 ha, MiHoYo is going to get taxed, tax the rich, ha ha. But at the same time, small indie game companies are still gonna suffer and be collateral damage in all of this. Let's not forget that. So, hopefully, like, the industry could collectively gather together and push back against this. So yeah, not good news overall. It is wild-ass news. Unity charging a runtime fee for installs per install, and just cutting into revenue like that with arbitrary numbers, with an arbitrary system that they say that, you know, trust us, bro. We know exactly how much you and your game made. I know you made $1 million and you got 2 billion downloads. You can't lie to us. We have a proprietary data model that says that you did, surely. So it's not a one-to-one thing where a dev just tells Unity, hey, this is how much we made. No, they're gonna guesstimate it on their own. And then they're gonna decide on their own how much you owe them. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. It's the same thing in business. Small business suffer, big corpos prosper. Yep. It is wild. Wild news. But good talk, good discussion. This is definitely going to affect the gacha game space. Do not be surprised if in 2024, a lot of smaller gacha games are culled and they end their service, because if they don't have the sustainability to manage their monthly downloads, because gacha games of any monetization practice in gaming, they're the ones that have the biggest returns in investment with the least amount of development costs. That's just the nature of the predatory practice of gacha games. They're going to make more money than what it costs to actually make a gacha game, so they will reach the threshold. The problem is the smaller ones, the ones that aren't Genshin, the ones that aren't Arknights, the ones that aren't Blue Archive, the smaller ones that are trying to get through, they're gonna collapse on fees. They're gonna get culled if they don't have, you know, the sustainable income. It's gonna be wild. How much profit would you... How much have you made, Tower of Fantasy? How much have you made, Tower of Fantasy? We haven't made a lot, Sir Unity. Nope. Our proprietary data model says you made a lot of money, Tower of Fantasy. Don't lie to us. Our model says you made a lot of money. Give us that money. I swear, this is such a clown fiesta. Anyway, that's our news. Big news hitting the industry. Going to affect a lot of places. It's wild in of itself. Let's transition back to Arknights, because today we are going to be playing some more Reclamation Algorithm, friendos. Hold up. Let me just bring this up. There we go. We are going to be playing some more Reclamation Algorithm. And I'm still editing my video from last stream where we discuss the many game modes of Arknights, how it has evolved over the years, and how they can make IS and consequently Reclamation Algorithm a lot better in the future. So, but today we're just going to be chilling out. We're going to be playing more of the game mode. I've actually been having a lot of fun in the game mode. It starts off really slow once if you're still building your base, but once you have most of the skills that you could get off the skill tree, you could basically skip a lot of the grinding now and just go to the fun parts, which is the raid. It's funny if the dozens of gachas already closing on regular each month, it's gonna be even faster. It will definitely be faster. Like the smaller gachas trying to break into this space, they're always gonna push for like a big launch month where they push for marketing, and it'll be very easy to get like millions of downloads. However, sustaining the revenue months later while also paying the Unity fee it's gonna collapse a lot of gacha games for sure, without a doubt. But the big gacha games, they already have a lot of money. It's a slap on the wrist for them. They are not going to be affected. Arknights is not going to be affected. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Commence algorithm, let's play! let us play. So, I've already unlocked the first ending of Reclamation Algorithm. I heard there are more endings. I'm just not sure how to unlock them. I know I have a bookmark somewhere of how to unlock them, but I forgot where I put it. How do you unlock the other bosses of Reclamation Algorithm? Did I bookmark it on Reddit? It should be somewhere. I'ma check before we start. I'ma just look at my bookmarks and see. Saved. Sand tips. Is this it? Or is this it? I don't know. But apparently we have to interact with a few people at the black market. Okay, I don't know where I bookmarked it, so I guess we could just, play and farm the game mode out. We'll just see if we can try to have some fun. So, our first squad is going to be Myrtle, Mjolnir, Honeyberry, Magellan, Texas, and Yato. I've found that if you're still farming out Reclamation Algorithm, fast redeploys are one of the best operators that you could use for farming because they cost cheaply. You could use them to target down specific sheep on the map for meat. Magellan is also my go-to supporter for scouting. I prefer her over Dorothy because Dorothy you have to use her mines, and then sometimes enemies will step on mines and then it'll destroy your scouting circle. Magellan, you use the drones and then most enemies won't even attack the drones. Talk to everything talkable until it doesn't want to talk anymore. That's how we unlock the new endings. Got it. So, we already got our base built. And because we already got our base built and we got most of our skills that allow us to get starting resources early on, we actually don't need to farm anymore, and we could skip all the way to the fun part of this game mode, which is just fighting the raids. Because every time I fight the raid, it's always very fun. If you friendos wanna see our base, this is our layout. I am using the layout from a AFK video guide on YouTube. It is specifically designed for an IFRIT lane. This is basically the layout. If you search AFK Reclamation Algorithms map guide, whatever, you should find it. It should be easy to find. I made a few modifications based on my team. And the boring part about this game mode is definitely just farming out the constructs, and it doesn't really encourage a lot of experimentation because you can't even refund your constructs once you put them down. So I think a lot of players are just better off following a guide for an optimized layout, so it doesn't cost too much and too much time to build your base and get to the fun part of this game mode, which is preparing for the raids. Okay, so I feel that the Wasteland Cache, the one that makes a generator for an ally, this is absolutely required if you wanna complete this game mode. You need at least one of these to fight off a boss, and you need a strong defender to fight it off with. So we need at least one of those. I'm gonna make at least two of those, actually. We'll make two of these. Roadblocks along the way to babysit catapults, right? Yep. What else? Increase the attack speed of the operator in front. Forces them to retreat when the effect is retires. Nope. I like making the support coil because it's extra damage and it could slow down enemies. Immediately causes operator to retreat. What else do I need to prepare? Pushes away enemies. The true damage is also useful. Where's the one where we get SP? Which one makes SP? Stuns nearby enemies, large amounts, slows movement speed. This is also very useful. We should farm out some water for these. Support coil. Ally. SP. There. So the SP is always useful. Okay. Let's actually make some. Let us make some. Nope. Let's make a gathering hub. We'll make one. We need water. We need water more than we need gathering hub. We need to make a Krabby Pumpy. And we can't afford anything else. Ah, we're fine. We're fine. Let's go gather some water. So once you have your base running and you know what to do, you know what the exact like power-ups you need to beat the end boss. You don't really need to optimize your runs way too much. SP battery for offense recovery characters is very Gucci. Yes, yes it is. Not using Liskarm though. She is very useful. Water! Let's get some water. Nope, that's the coil. Fresh water. Let's put it somewhere where it won't be attacked. And maybe we could gather some meat along the way. Meat is always fine and dandy. Let's put down a flag bearer there. So I'm guessing this is a crab. For sure that's a crab. Let's use Magellan to scout it out. Like this. Scout. Yep, there we go. That's why I use Magellan as a scout over Dorothy. Because the drones don't get attacked as often as the mines go off if the enemies step on the mines. Thank you. Let's put drone there so we could have scouting. Let's take out this. Oh, wait, the drone's in the way. Get away, Mr. Drone. We're gonna attack. Oh, it ran away. Okay, okay, okay. It ran away. Hello, hi. We need meat. Thank you for the meat. Where else can we place drones? Any other... Are these animals that we could farm? Why can't I place more drones? I only have one drone left. Huh? Nope, that's not an animal. Are you an animal? Ah, thank you for the meat. Thank you for the meat. Is this an animal? No, that's... Sometimes you could tell without even seeing them what the animals are because of their movement patterns. Like, I think this is an animal. Hi, hello. It's a crab. Thank you. This seems to be a crab. Or this... Am I sure that's a crab? I don't know. This might be a crab? How many more crabs are there on this map? We have no more drones. New drones! Yeah, the problem with using Magellan is that she doesn't recover her drones when she's out. Dorothy recovers her mines passively. So you could continue using the mines as scouting tools. Hi, hello. Ah, an animal. Hello, give us meat. Thank you. All the crabs spawn top left of the river tile. I see, I see. So this is my main criticism of this game mode, is that the farming is not that engaging. Nope, not that engaging at all. I mean, there's a sort of puzzle in trying to figure out where the enemies are. Whoa, whoa, what the hell was that? Was that a ghost? Just disappeared? Hey, that's an animal. Hold up. Hi, hello. Thank you. We're gonna use you for food. Thank you, thank you. And once you even have... Yeah, the grinding of it is the boring part of this game mode, so I want to minimize that. I just want to get to the raids and have fun. Once you have a good team, aka a meta squad, and I'm understanding that if you have a weak team for this game mode, it is not fun. You need to spend a lot of time on farming provisions, farming for construct defenses, but if you have a meta team, you could practically ignore everything and just go straight into the raids. So, I want to see them add some more IS-inspired modifiers that at least help out your team and add some randomness that makes the game mode a lot better. Large amount of HP to an ally. Range. What do we need? Slow movement speed. This is very useful. This is very useful for managing the boss wave. What else can we make right now? Constructs. Can't make any of those. Okay. Let's go farm for wood. Actually, no. I'm gonna make some provisions. What can we make? Max HP. Deployment cost. -6, -8. We'll cook one of these. We'll give it to our flag bearer, Myrtle. It's gonna last the entire run, I think. It should last the entire run. Myrtle! There we go. So now she has practically 0 cost. We could put her out early. What else can we make? Development cost, Attack speed. Max HP is nice. We're gonna give max HP to our defender, which is going to be Nyan. How do I feed again? How do I feed again? Hold up, wait. 9. Feed, we're gonna feed Nyan. Nyan. Oh wait. Nyan? Nyan. Where is she? Most raids are not that hard, you're doing fine with 4 stars, but hunting in particular is really way easier with fast redeploys and merchants. Yep. Where's Nyan? There she is. Gonna feed her some of that. Also, I really don't like that we have to micromanage stamina. I really don't like that. Because it's not automatic whenever we start a new day. You have to manually do this. You can only do this once a day. So why isn't it automatic? It's weird. There's way too much micromanagement. And I'm a city skyline player. So I love me some micromanagement. But this is just... it's redundant. It doesn't need to happen. I know they did it because it's a survival game and whatnot. But I don't know. They could find a way to make it more fun. Crude gold or tenderloin. Ooh, puffball tenderloin. Sure, why not? Wait, oh, we don't have enough gold! Unfortunate. What's this? Obtain rice? Sure, why not? Let's advance. And most of all, raids are rewarding enough that you don't... if you have a strong squad, you can just rely on raids alone. Just to provide you the materials you need to make provisions, to make combat tools. Let's skip to a raid day. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, friendos. Let's get to a raid. I know a lot of people are struggling right now if they don't have IFRIT. Or they don't have a lot of arts damage, or, you know, they don't know how to stall. Yeah, this game mode could use a lot of work. There should be a way that allows mid-game players to... like... mid-game players to take on these raids without... without the perpetual farm of trying to get more and more combat tools and provisions. They should at least add modifiers that'll help out different kinds of classes. Like, add the variety that makes IS fun. That seems like a good thing. I'ma put a lot of wheat into our Gatorade. Thank you. Replenish Gatorade. Like, this is what I mean. If you just skip the raid days and only ever battle during raid days, stamina becomes a non-issue. It becomes a non-issue. Let's play. Let's do a raid. This is a fun part of Reclamation Algorithm. You agree? It becomes stale after a while. Hope they do something in the future. Yes. Zero cost Myrtle, my favorite. There. How do I open this again? If I remember, I haven't played Reclamation Algorithm in like 2 days. I've just been reading One Piece. So, let me just remember how my opener starts. A fine night it is, guys. Hello, friendo. Welcome to our stream. We are just chilling out playing Reclamation Algorithm. I know my opener involves getting these out early. And then I put... there. So, which enemies showed up? Ooh! Okay, it's Samurai Boys. We got the Weebs. The Weebs are coming. You down there. Funny enough, this is the one game mode that actually lags my emulator. It's like, I only have a 2060, but this is the one game mode that actually lags out my emulator. I wonder how it's gonna show up on stream. Surely it's not gonna be that. Surely it's... oh, fuck! That was a mistake. I faced her the wrong way. Ah, that's okay. It's fine. Put Mjolnir here. It is fine. It is fine. We have our panic button, which is Knurl. I think we should give Knurl minus 8 DP cost. Or I wonder if there's food that lets us make the redeployment time of Knurl a lot smaller. Don't forget, Doctor, we are a healthcare company. That's why we employ child soldiers. Yes, exactly. That's why we're a healthcare company. That's why we employ child soldiers. Ah, I made a mistake again. I was supposed to put it on this style. Okay, now. I mean, I'm making a lot of mistakes, but once we have this setup, it should be fine. Look at this AFK. How long have I been playing Arknights? I've been playing since February of last year. I am just a 1.5 year player. And most of the operators that I got from being really lucky. How dare you block enemies instead of slapping tons of CC. I have a bit of CC, and my main strategy against a ton of enemies has always been Shining and Yan. That's it. Because a lot of the enemies in Reclamation Algorithm, in the raids, they're physical enemies, they're physical damage, so Nyan and Shining hard counters all of them. I don't have Manticore, I don't have Mizuki, and I don't like bringing Ethan, so I can't rely on the stall strat. But I do love using Nyan as a big shield that cannot be destroyed. The immovable object that is Nyan. I love her, she's one of my favorite characters. So we got extra attack. Wait, no, we can't make that. Unfortunate. The launchers have unlimited ammo. Yes, they have unlimited ammo. So if you want to slow down enemies and you want to just like control the flow of enemies going into your base, you could do way more than just these. You could just extend the net launchers all the way up here, and then they have a lane going up here. You could extend them over here if you want. If you want to expend the resources for that, it could help control the lanes. They're going to be past... The ones flowing through here will be going from the left to right. You could even put the slow launchers up here to slow down this wave while you manage this wave. You could do a lot of things with the slow launcher. It helps a lot in pacing the enemies out, because the enemies have a lot of movement speed. They just rush you down. So adding slow launchers on every side can manage the different lanes from coming all the way here. That's one way as a player that you could manage it out. How do I get Neural the Radiant Knight? It is a limited operator, which is only available during certain limited events. It is an off rate. The most practical way of trying to get an old limited operator is, unfortunately, you have to save up 300 pulls to spark her, because they're never gonna get a rate up ever again, and eventually they're also gonna leave the off rate pool of the limited gacha. So over time they're gonna get harder and harder to obtain. It is not a good system. Yeah, you can. She'll come back during the next limited event, the Lone Trail event, where we have Mulesies. She's gonna be an off rate, but the most practical way of getting off rate limiteds, it will always be the 300 pull spark. There's no going around it as of now. It's not a good system, to be fair. I have a video about that. Controversial as it was. Anyway. Let us... What am I supposed to do again? Oh yeah, skip. I wanna... Do we have anything craftable? What do we have craftable? Which is away nearby enemies. Mines are always gonna be very useful for preparing for the boss stage. What else? Slow movement speed. I like to have a ton of these for the boss stage because it could also pace out enemies while you fight the boss. Inflict sleep on enemies and surrounding tiles. This is also like the... This is like the slow thing. It has the same effect. You got Nyan instead of Chungus Sag. What about W? Same for as well. W is even harder to get now because she was one of the first limited operators in the game, and as time went on, the off rate for limiteds just kept growing and growing. So she's no longer in the off rate of any future limited banner. She's still in the banner in where if you have very, very good luck, you could pull her, but she's not in the 30% off rate, whatever that they have. She's still there, but it's incredibly rare to target her, and the only way to get her now is the 300 pull pity. The system has to be fixed. What else did we make? We can make this, we can make that. I don't want to make those, so we're gonna move on to our next raid. Yeah, she has the same pool of basic 6 stars in a limited banner as all of the other standard operators. Not great if you want her. Let's do our... Yeah, this is what I mean where the stamina system in this game mode, it's too micromanagey. You have to keep doing this every day. If you want to make sure you don't waste the free stamina refill. It's too micromanagey. Let's raid. Let's go for another raid. Who's the enemy this time? We got big boys, heavy defenders. Okay. Nothing to be worried about. We have IFRIT. We're fine. Yeah, it is rough if you're a new player and you want old limited operators. It is rough. I still have to get Norcorn. Norcorn has not come home. Rathalos S. Norcorn. I'm hoping that in the last free temple that we get for this event, Norcorn comes home, because I'm not willing to spend my 300 pulls on this banner just for no guarantee that Norcorn will come home. Yato has a guaranteed pity, but Norcorn doesn't? Huh. So I'm in a pickle right now. Am I gonna spend more of my pulls just to get Norcorn? Knowing I'm never actually gonna build him or use him just for collection's sake? Am I gonna risk that? No, I'm smarter than that. I don't need Norcorn that hard. He can disappear for all I care. But hopefully, he comes home in the final 10 pull that I'm gonna make once I get the last free ticket. Hopefully, I believe. Surely. Surely Lowlight John Hypergriff himself will bless me. I put you in the wrong position. I'm supposed to put Horn here. Then put Nyan. I don't really care about deployment. What do you call that? What do you call that? I forget. The order, deployment order. Doesn't really matter too much in IS. Reclamation Algorithm. Wowee. How many off-rates did I get? A lot of off-rates. I got Quercus. I got... what's his name? I got Gray. I got a lot of 5-star off-rates that were not Norcorn within 60 pulls. I got Yato within 60 pulls. And then Norcorn just refused to come home. Norcorn, come home! You should come home. So this is my setup. I got these slow things to slow down everything that comes into Ifrit's range. I got Nyan and Shining for the boss. I got Posey, and you could put the crossbow here like this, and then you could do some Posey shenanigans. Eyjafjall is here for the arts debuff. And then I have this spot here for SP for Posey, and this spot here SP for Mjolnir. Or whoever I want. You like Grey Altar? Grey was... I never liked original Grey, but Grey Altar... Where is Grey Altar from? Grey Altar is in one of the main event stages? Main event stories? I even forgot where Grey Altar is from. That's how forgettable I think he is. It's nice to have a non-limited flinger sniper, because Rosmontis is limited. However, the Shota is not my thing. We got the cats from the Monster Hunter collab. They're also flinger type. Come on, dude. You're just gonna waddle your way, get into range. Come on, we don't have all day. Oh, he's from Dorothy's Vision. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. He is from Dorothy's Vision. You're not gonna stop until you get at least one of him? And you're also waiting for the free 10 pull? Yep. Hopefully RNG blesses us. Losing 4 50-50s is already insane. It is what it is. We gamba. I didn't get Norcorn. I got like 5 5-stars. No, I got 4 5-stars in 60 pulls. None of them was Norcorn. Sometimes you gotta roll with it. Lean with it, rock with it, roll with it. We don't have a lot of food for anything. Let us... Wow, micromanaging our Gatorade. Gray is fantastic in this mode, just like in SSS. I just don't have the materials to build him, even if I wanted to use him. That's also a thing I criticize very publicly about gacha games. I do not like the daily energy progression system, where you're time gated in the amount of XP you could get, so you will always be behind on operators if you do not pay for OP to get more sanity per day. You're always time gated on progression, so even if you pull a new operator, there's a chance if you didn't prepare for them, or if they're not your priority, they will never get built, because you might have other priorities like 6 stars to build and stuff like that. It is what it is. It's something I openly criticize about gacha games. I have never shied away from that. You got Proviso? Apparently there is a fast redeploy recipe. I know, the fast redeploy recipe is very good for Texas. But I'm way too lazy to farm out the food needed for that. I already know I can survive. I can survive the boss without farming out provisions. Let's go to black market. Why not? Haven't been to the black market way too much. Hancock is here. Hancock from Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, hello. Hi. Can we talk to you? It's Isin and Hancock. Welcome. Anything you need? Building materials? Support items? How much time does it take to get a 6-star OP to E2 as a newbie? Let's see. If I estimate it, getting a 6-star to E1, it doesn't take a lot. So, it's like 1 day for... Nah, I'm not sure about E0 to E1 or E0 to E2, but E2 0 all the way to E2 90, it takes a month. I calculated it. Because once you reach like level 50 or 60, the XP that you need to level up an operator starts exponentially increasing. It doubles. So in 2 weeks, you could get from E2 0 to E2 50, and then or 60, you could get there I think you could get there 0 to 70 takes 2 weeks, and then 70 to 80 takes 1 week. Just 70 to 80 alone takes 1 week. And then 80 to 90 takes 2 weeks of just, if you're not farming for XP, if you're not farming stages for XP, if you're just relying on daily base XP from your base, the passive income of your XP and money, it'll take you 1 month to get from E2 0 to E2 90. You're not even gonna try to E2 90? E2 90 is if you want to really push your operators. E2 60 is the minimum you need to unlock the module system, so 60 is the best place to stop. It is the most efficient place to stop, because after that, it'll take a month to get from 60 to 90. And that XP could be better used on other operators. It could be better used on other operators, but if you're using one operator a lot, then the investment could actually be better. Like physical operators, operators that use physical damage scale a lot better with attack, so they should be the priority that you use if you want to get an operator to 90. Physical operators rely on attack a lot. If they don't reach the attack threshold that they need to pass a defense threshold, they're gonna do less and less damage. That's why operators like Exia get weaker as you get into endgame, because a lot of the enemies are just defense sponges, and arts damage gets a whole lot better because there's a lot more res shred and res debuffs in the game. So physical damage operators benefit the most if you're gonna take something to 90. The crystalline unit is really hard to get through. Just for the sake of modules, yep, E260 is the most efficient place to stop. And then you can just spend everything else on other operators that you want to play with. What do we need? Support items. I want camouflage, crane. I don't need any of these. Nope, no thanks. Isin, hi, hello, do you have anything to say to us? Ah, guess. Rare guess. Old Ison sees a new flame. To get 6-star from 0 to manageable, E2 is around 1 million, all things included. Yep. Yeah, it takes around 1 to 2 months for a single operator from hard 0 to get to E2 90. And just E2 70 alone to 90 is like 1 month on its own. Modules are the last power boost an operator gets, isn't it? Yep. It's also one of the ways that Hypergriff uses to update old operators. So, if an operator was weak on launch, like some 6-stars are, and then the community molds that, oh my god, I spent money on the 6-star and the 6-star is useless, aka Spectre Alter when she was launched. The modules after that have the capability of updating an operator's like cycling times, updating their usage to make them more usable. So sometimes the modules are actually mandatory for certain operators to make them usable. It is what it is. Hello, check out Black Seal's Originium weapons. Not enough crude gold. Black Market Liaison told us about. We should find the Sand Soldier, aka Godsinger. Modules will save abjurers. Copium. Copium. Oh yeah, by the way, friendos, we have BTTV emotes installed. So if you have BTTV extension on your browser, you could click like the 3 dots on the top of chat, and then you could activate the BTTV menu here and see the emotes. Tsukinogi will be great one day. Sure, bud. Sure, keep sure, bud. Tsukinogi will be great one day. One day. Where do we find the Sand Soldier? Where do we find Passenger? I'm not gonna read all of this because, I don't know, it's boring content for you guys. It's more fun if we just get to the raids. I haven't even read this yet, so I'm gonna go back to this in my own time. I don't know, I don't even know how to unlock the other endings. I'm just skipping right through. Maybe I should have paid attention. That's my fault. Hold up, wait. Wait. How do we unlock? Ah, whatever, just skip. Just skip. Skip! Ian can't read. Skip! Ian doesn't read stories. Skip! Stamina! Not really a problem anymore. Skip all the way to raid days. You have survived so many days doing absolutely nothing. Yep. That's the thing with this game mode, is that in the beginning end of the game mode, it is very grindy. It's boring setting up your base, and then once you get to the end game, it reverses. It's boring in a different way, in that the best way to play the game mode becomes to not play the game mode and just skip the raid days. If you have a meta team that is strong enough, you don't even need to farm out materials anymore. And the most efficient way to play the game is just to skip the raid days. So this is a weird game mode. It starts off boring, and once you get to end game, it becomes boring again because you don't even have to engage with the node system. There's a lot of things they should do to polish this game mode out. Same opening. We're gonna start off with IFRIT. We're gonna start off with Suzu. We go with Horn to get her skill up early. Which enemies are coming? I didn't pay attention. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've tested this setup with most of the enemies. The one I have the most problem with... oh my god, this is the one I have the most problem with. It's the bully mode. Because the bullies leak. The bullies are gonna leak. Yeah, this is the one I have the most problem with because the bullies just straight up leak. You need multiple 3-star... You need multiple 3 blockers to manage the bullies in this wave. Okay, now you're coming through. I'm gonna put Mjolnir here because he's gonna take care of the ones that leak. Yeah, here they come. This is the one I have the most problem with. Because they will just straight up leak. Cease and desist. Stop. Okay, we're starting to lag. Oh boy. Cease and desist. Stop attacking our base. Come on, calm down. Calm down, my dude. I forgot to put down Horn. Just because we were panicking from the bullies. How do you kill Rathalos with E1 operators anyway, or give up? Rathalos? You gotta use the game mechanics. I retreated Mjolnir without thinking that the bullies are coming. I think that was a huge mistake. Holy shit. That's a huge mistake. Hold up, wait. Rathalos? It is possible to kill Rathalos with even just 3 stars. You just have to... Ooh, fuck. The bullies. Ah, shit. We let the bullies leak. This is not good. Yeah, this was my fault. I'm gonna place... Oh yeah, this works. That should work. Rathalos, you have to use the game mechanics. You have to stun him out of the sky, and then you have to use the directional weakness system that they have in the Monster Hunter game mode. You have to attack his tail, and then you have to break his tail. If you play a Monster Hunter, you normally break his tail to stop Rathalos from using his tail attacks anymore. So his circular tail whip that he does, you could silence that forever by just cutting off his tail. You should focus on stunning him. When he's stunned on the ground, you cut off his tail. As if you're playing actual Monster Hunter. Okay, looks like we've finally stabilized. We're no longer having problems with bullies. Wire drones can be exploited if you have Yato or if you have Texas. Judging by this event, I think most people should have saved up for Yato. So if you use the wire bug, you could make Yato. You could abuse Yato's fast redeploy. So that's one of the cheese ways to do it. Like, the solutions for the game mode are right there. In our stream, during our Monster Hunter playthrough, we actually didn't even get to the den phase of Rathalos. I didn't know that there was a den phase where he flies back to his den and the map switches. We killed him too fast. We knew too much Monster Hunter stuff, and we cut off his tail. And then we just nuked him down in the first phase. He didn't even go to his den phase. Okay. So far, the wave that I have the most trouble with, we did fine. Even though I was distracted. Chat, you're distracting me. You almost made us lose that. The bullies, they leaked. I blame you, chat. 72%. Okay, stamina micromanagement. Can we make anything else? XP, why not? Yeah, sure, why not? Deployment costs, yeah, sure, why not? I'm not gonna farm any more meat. Might as well. Who are we gonna feed this to? Dine. Who are we gonna feed? Horn? I'll feed Horn. The XP? I don't know. Just something. I'ma feed Mjolnir the XP in case he suddenly has to block something. I mean, HP. Deployment cost. I'm gonna put that on IFRIT. Where's IFRIT? IFRIT! There we go. Just so she's cheaper in our opener. Let's see if we can make something new. Support items. You have to prepare for the boss stage. The barrier, will be fine with the barrier. DP refund, coil. Greatly reduce redeployment time. Actually, is this permanent for the next redeployment? I'm not quite sure. I want to try it out. Science! Let's do science. Let's see how much this makes Neural more redeployable. SP. SP is fine. We'll get SP. We need to start farming stun grenades are good. Stun grenades are fine. Slow. Can we make some slow? Can we make mines? We can make slow. Slow is good. Good luck on your try, friendo. I hope you make it. Push enemies away. This is kinda useful. Mines are always good. True damage mines, always good. Okay. Did we replenish our squad? Replenish! Day 11. Day 11. Skip. Can we... Is there anyone? No, there's only... Let's wait until we find Passenger here. How do we find Passenger? How do we find Godsinger in the black market? Do we just wait? I'll just try to wait for him. I'm gonna wait for his ass. Where is he? Where's Hancock? Hi, Hancock. Do you have anything to trade? Support items, first aid kit, camouflage. Do you only have these same 3 things? Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Got Mountain on a Yato banner. Mountain jump scare. Just like a certain VTuber shrimp who hates Mountain. Just don't try to kill him quick. Stall him, defender, healer at the start, and deal with the small animals. Yeah. I like Rathalos. Rathalos and Arknights, they managed to completely replicate the way you fight him in actual Monster Hunter. And I'm always impressed by that. They also managed to do it in FF14, where you have to fight him in the same way you fight him in Monster Hunter. And they did the same thing in Arknights. Cut off his tail, stun him out of the sky with a flash grenade, a flash bug. Cut off his tail and then make him cry. Wait, what enemy is this? It is the Demolitionist leader with the Crusher. It's fine. IFRIT can deal with everything. Someone hates Mountain? Yeah, someone hates Mountain. A certain shrimpy VTuber. He doesn't like the big Baradaddies. The big furry Baradaddies. Let's put Elysium here. You also hate Thorns and Mudrock. You hate the lane holders? They are the bane of your enjoyment. Is it because you don't have them? And people just keep recommending that you should just use them if you want to AFK? Is that it? My healer dies as he targets her shooting a fireball. You could use a defender to bait out the fireball. And place a defender far away from your normal team that is defending against the animals. You could use a bait. I keep forgetting. Horn should be out early. Then put you down here. Either that or they find them too easy, you're guessing. Yeah, the lane holders are pretty self-sustaining. Like we have a lot of lane holders in this game just for the express purpose of holding one single lane without needing a healer. They have their purpose in the game. I don't mind them. I don't think they make the game too easy. Actually, wait. I don't know. I don't have too many thoughts about high-end gameplay. I just like the waifus and husbandos. Wait. Swing, swing. So the crushers in this wave is why you need to reinforce the platforms. If you're using this layout, you need to reinforce these 2 platforms because they're gonna try to crush the defender that you place here, and they're gonna do AoE damage on the platforms around it. Stop. Cease and desist. Calm down. Swing, 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 swing. Also, sometimes IFRIT can get caught in the crossfire of the swing, swing. Let's put a healer down to make sure Horn doesn't die. We have her skill activated, so we can now heal her. And we're set up. We could just AFK for a bit. If we panic, we could activate a few skills. Horn. I always forget that Horn has the same amount of damage as Chen the Holongdae. Like, Horn has a shit ton of damage. Sometimes you forget that. Are these barriers indestructible? They have HP. These barriers, they just block enemies, but they don't change their path or reinforce. These are for the catapults that come out in some waves. And these platforms, they have a certain amount of HP, depending on their level. This is the IFRIT barbecue. They're just running into it. They're running into the barbecue. We don't even need that many provisions, or we don't even need to use any of the tools. These are all just getting hoarded for the final wave with the boss. That's it. I'm just hoarding this for the final wave with the boss because these normal waves are pretty easy with this setup. What do you think is the funniest character in Arknights? Funny character. Kyobi is pretty funny, but she's funny in a cute way. Kirara is pretty funny because she's a gamer girl. Jay is pretty funny just because people mistake him for a hardened criminal, but he's just a sushi guy. He's just a sushi chef. What do we need? I hate micromanaging this shit. I'm not gonna do it. Fuck it. We have enough Gatorade. I'm not micromanaging that shit. I think you don't hate lane holders, but you hate the content creators that just slap AFK units everywhere and call it a job. Where's the exciting line planning? Yeah. Sometimes people just want the AFK. They don't want to think too hard. And lane holders, you just let them get plopped down and you can call it a day. I see your point. I mean, it's different game styles for different people. There's Thorns if you want to use a lane holder guard, or you could use Mjolnir if you just want to burst shit down. Instead of Blaze, you could use a more active operator like Gavial, be invincible. I mean, nothing's stopping players from choosing waifu over meta. Fortunately for me, I have fun with both meta and waifu. But I mostly play meta, just because I don't want to think too hard, I don't want to struggle too hard. I'm here for the story most of all. I unashamedly admit that. I'm here for the story, I don't want to suffer too hard in most stages. So yes, I am technically meta over waifu. But luckily, some of my waifus are meta. Nyan isn't meta, but I do love using her. She's one of my best solutions for physical damage heavy enemy maps. Works out in the end. It works out. Nerl is one of my waifus. Nerl the Radiant Knight. She technically competes in the same slot as Texas and Yato, but I like bringing her along for the sole purpose that I love her second ability where she doesn't use a deployment point. In higher difficulty game modes, most of the time I feel like I use up most of the deployment slots, and Nerl is always a free slot just to put in your team. Like, you put Texas down and then you put Nerl to tank the boss's hits. It works out. I like compressing roles in that way. You wanna pull for the most cool characters. Thankfully, there are a lot of very cool characters in Arknights. Nyan was the first character that I saw whose character art got me into Arknights. Nyan was my very first waifu. So, I fell in love with her character design. And then I fell in love with Kelsey's character design, Mountain's character design. That was the wrong place to put that. Okay, doesn't matter. I can still put them there. They could just switch spots for now. It's fine. Arknights has a lot of cool drip, and I love it. Although I have a concern that the character design of Arknights has definitely changed throughout the years. because the art director of Arknights is no longer working on the game. He is no longer the art director. I forgot his name. He's currently working on, I think, the Arknights anime and Enfield. So there's a different art director now, and you could definitely tell a shift in character design once they switch places, because before we had a lot of techwear inspired character design where there's a lot of cool jackets, like baggy pants, military inspired costuming, but nowadays it's more like fantasy-esque. It's leaning a lot towards more casual wear. I don't know how to feel about that. I might make a video about it in the future. Like I first fell in love with Arknights because of the tech wear, because of the cool jackets and outfits. Like Hoshiguma's Oni skin was so cool. But nowadays it's leaning more to a fantasy aesthetic. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to explain it. Like previous character designs were more baggy than they were sharp and angular. The best contrast that I could use as an example for that is you compare Silence, the original Silence character design, and you compare... Where is this? Bro, we're waiting for you. You compare Silence's old character design with her Alter's character design, and you can see the clear difference. Art director leaves guys in studio. Draw more legs! True. Yeah. The more modern operators in Arknights, you could definitely see that they are leaning into a bit more fan service. Like, I'm just gonna pull up a few operators. We're gonna take a detour. Let's look at an old character design, like Saria. This is the kind of character design I fell in love with Arknights the most. It is badass, it is cool, it is tech wear. What do you call that? Nori ZC is one of my favorite Arknights character designers. Everything that he draws is magnifique. It is chef's kiss. I love his art style. He uses a lot of plastics, a lot of baggy clothing. The silhouettes are very wide. They're not very... You don't see these silhouettes very often in gacha games because gacha games will almost always focus on fan service first and foremost. But this one is elegant because look, even if she's decked out in combat gear, you have a bit of fan service right here. This bit of fan service, this bit of showing skin, I think this is sexier than just a full-on swimsuit skin. And this armpit window, this tiny armpit window amidst the cool techwear outfit, this is the stuff I live for the most. It's like, it's sexier than being naked, but you just have a bit of information to work with for your imagination to go wild. And that's the type of old character design that Arknights had. But moving forward, we have stuff like... We have like Posey's character design, which is... This is a swimsuit. This is practically a swimsuit. And by the stories, by what happened in the story, it is her swimsuit. She just takes off the red part and then she uses it to swim against Gavial in the story. So it's a lot more fantasy based. The big jackets are more or less phased out. Like Dorothy, like, sheesh! Oh my god. It's like, okay, Hypergriff, we know exactly what you're doing. Okay, come on, dude. Come on. Goes for a showcase, casually pulls out M9 Saria. Yes, Saria is one of my first wives. And what else? I don't have the new Silence because she's not out yet. She's not out yet. Like old new passenger skin. It's like, it's not really the classic Arknights. It is more flowy. It is a suit. It is very elegant. I do like styles like this. I'm not saying I don't want styles like this, but you can definitely see where the new art style is leaning towards nowadays. I also hate that Mudrock, every single skin that she has, she's undressed. I want to see Mudrock in more armor. Like, this is Mudrock. This is possibly the best example. Mudrock. Classic Mudrock. Big, beefy. Skin Mudrocks. These skins are practically the same. Come on, Hypergriff. You strip her down once and suddenly she never wears armor ever again. Come on, Hypergriff. Give her a Titan skin for the Destiny collab and I will be happy. So stuff like that. You can definitely see how the art style has changed over the years. Texas. Like old Texas and new Texas. This is new Texas. You can see what kind of fetishes that they just sneakily put into these new character designs. Like, she's not showing a lot of skin. However, if you enhance, those are tights. Those are magnifique tights. That's a certain kind of fetish that is just niche enough that you'd have to be a freak. You'd have to be a freak to pay attention to that. AKA me. I'm a freak. I'm the freak. Yeah, HG could definitely do better in not making Mudrock totally stripped down. So that's just a detour. Let's go back and play. Let's go back and resume. Do we need to micromanage our Gatorade? I don't want to micromanage my Gatorade. Why isn't this not automatic? Come on. Let's go. We are at day 16. This should be the final raid. Okay. Boss time. Surely we could do this properly. Who's gonna come with the boss? Wait, is this the boss? Not sure if this is the boss. Usually the boss comes by day 16. I'm gonna see if we can make some more support items. Anything else we could make before we start? Barrier, attack speed, support coils, SP. One more, just in case. I don't know. Push enemies. Let's make 2 pushers. And then true damage, mines. Stack up on mines. That should be good. That should be good. We should be good to go. Let's play! Time for a raid. Hopefully this is the boss stage now. Right? Clueless? Surely. Surely it's the boss stage now. Mudrocky one is like when Grandma comes to visit, and her stripped down skin is when Grandma leaves. Time to do our setup. Hopefully we don't get rushed down by these boys. Suzu. Myrtle. Down. Orin. Yeah, but you could cheese these guys, this wave of enemies, by just making a maze around your base. Because they're gonna lose HP automatically anyway. And if you just stall them, they're gonna die before they even reach the base. So there are definitely some cheeses that you could do against certain types of raids. Hello, hello, Sensen. Welcome to our stream, friendo. We are currently just chilling with our IFRIT lane, effortlessly going through Reclamation Algorithm to farm out our rewards. Maze equals free Vanguard. Yes. It's like, they lose HP automatically. Just stall them out and they'll die before they even reach your operators. I don't think this is a boss stage. There are way too few enemies. The boss stage always has like hundreds of enemies. Over 100. I'm not even fully upgraded on my deployment station. I could farm out the rest of the game mode to get level 2 of this station so I could summon these 3 back without deployment limit, but nah. No thank you. I don't want to do any more farming in this game mode. It is way too boring. The raids are the most fun part of this game mode. It's just getting to the raids is the grindy part and setting up your base. They're running so slow. Where are they? Bro, look at them. Like these enemies running all the way through here. They're losing half their HP just getting to our entrance. Like, okay, you're dead. No wonder there's not a lot of enemies. They're dying midway. No wonder. How about an Ifrit and Fartooth lane? I would love to have a Fartooth lane. Unfortunately, I don't have Fartooth. Come on, guys. There's only 2 of them left. Let's take this one out. Okay, that should be the last raid until the boss raid. Let's go. Let's go. We got a bunch of stuff. Let's make more mines. Mines, baby. I don't find Dorothy that useful for the boss raids because if you're using a straight line, which I think most people are doing, if you're using a straight line defense, the enemies can stack on tiles way too much so that it'll be hard to place down mines because you need unoccupied tiles. So I don't use Dorothy for the boss raids or any raid. But Dorothy is very good for scouting in resource maps. What am I gonna do again? Oh yeah. Sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD. Sometimes I wonder that. So, like, for months on end, I have these hyperfixations with certain games like City Skylines, FF14, and then I ignore the rest of my life just to play those games. I'm pretty sure being a City Skylines player automatically makes me on the autism spectrum. I'm pretty sure. Surely, just because I'm a City Skyline player. Can we make any more stuff? No more mines? Okay, we can't afford anything else. Can we make food? Do we have extra food materials before we hit the final boss? No more. Okay. Okay. Final boss. Day 7. Let's go. Let's go. I hope Fartooth gets a hunter skin for the Destiny collab. I'm really vying for Final Sylvestris being the ones that get skins for the Destiny collab. I would love for a Fartooth hunter skin. And we have full stamina. We never had to worry about our food anytime. Just because we kept skipping resource nodes, combat nodes. Just because we kept skipping towards raid days. City Sims are a special type of disease. As a fellow player, you could confirm. Yes. Fellow city player. Hello. Did I pull for Chobai? No, I did not. I have been saving for 300 pulls just so I could get the 300 spark for either Spectre Altar or Scotty Altar in the coming Lone Trail limited event. Because I want to play Abyssal Knights. I want to play Abyssal Knights so bad that I spent half a year not pulling on any banner except for Yato, because I managed to pull Yato in 60, and I still have 300 left as of the moment to save up for the next event. I have 300 pulls. I am Gucci as of the moment. Hopefully I could get one of the altars, one of the off-rate altars in my 300 pulls, and then I could pull the other one with the 300. That's my plan. But I'm an endgame player. I have, through sheer luck alone, I have gotten many of the meta operators that I personally don't feel like I need to pull for the more niche operators that came out throughout the year. I really wanted to pull for Reed because she's a very interesting medic. I like pulling for niche operators nowadays because I could use them in IS3. But I'm saving up for my Abyssal Hunter girls in the next limited events, so I couldn't waste any pulls. If Reed happens to come out during that 300, I would be very happy. So these reinforcements are here just to bait out the trebuchets. And we barely have to worry about anyone reaching Nyan. The only enemy that we have to worry about reaching Nyan is going to be the boss. Oh yeah, I forget. Hold up, we have... we should start putting down our... What do you call that? Which one of these is the barrier? Stun, movement speed, Barrier. We put this. We give Nyan a barrier. We give IFRIT SP. And then what else? Barrier pushes away enemies. It's gonna take 1 year to get Neural, I think. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If you're free to play, it's very punishing if you want an old limited operator. They're not gonna be rate up anymore. Oh my god, if we put this on ×2 speed, it just starts lagging. Wow, look at that. Look at them go. They're barely reaching Nyan. They haven't even... Nyan's shield hasn't even been broken. That's her starter shield. And when she gets spawned. It's like, okay, here's Lord Amir. Now we start bursting shit down. You just gotta be careful because we can get overrun by this guy. It's not Lord Amir. And the rest that are coming for us right now. So I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna start putting down SP. We're still at 60, so we should manage our resources a bit properly. I'm gonna put this SP on Horn, so we could get a faster cycle. We could put some mines down there. Yeah, Nyan can just face tank everything. If you combo her with 2 healers and Shining. 1 healer and Shining. Oh, what died? Oh, Neural died. Okay. I don't care too much about Neural. So her shield's about to get attacked. I don't know if it's a good idea to put the SP battery on Ozzy and Mjolnir, because Mjolnir needs to build up his damage, and making the skill cycle faster doesn't necessarily make his damage build up faster. That goes the same with Posey. Even if she gets her skill faster, you still have to wait for the redeployment of the crossbow. So, I don't know. I don't know where to put that. I don't know where to put that. Look at them go! They're just coming through. They're attacking. So, the boss is getting tanked down by Nyan. She is barely moving. She has a barrier. You don't have to worry about any leaks whatsoever. Yeah, sure. Why not? Do some damage. Down this. The hardest part about this isn't the first phase of this boss, of the first boss, because he's just a big beefy boy. You could just stall him with a big defender. The problem is in his second phase, when he gets a shit ton of extra attack and he starts dealing a whole lot more damage. He becomes beefier and he gets more attack speed. So now he's down from phase 1. He's coming back. So when he goes to phase 2, he's just gonna chunk through your defender. And the barrier that we have here is basically soloing him. Like, he's not even going through the barrier. Look at that. This is still the barrier from the combat tool. It's not he's not even reaching Nyan's he's not reaching Nyan's HP yet. He's just chunking through the barrier from the tool. And if we're panicking, I could just put down an extra defense. Yeah, there are a few strategies that work out in IS. Reclamation strategies. You could just stall everything down. You could stall with a big defender like me. You could burst everything down. But the safest way is definitely to just stall. To just get a big defender and face tank everything. As long as Nyan is here, as long as Shining is here, another healer for panicking, and then we have the barrier thing. Nyan will be fine. It looks dangerous from overhead, but we're doing fine. IFRIT's doing a lot of work. Look at that. And there, we just dealt with a big wave. We're just chunking down the boss, slowly whittling him down. We never needed to farm too many things. Didn't need to farm any of the rare materials. Oh, he's dead. Boss is dead! Congrats, boss is dead. You can play with Neural Alter every stage this way until you get tired and decide to roll for someone else. Second phase is easy to deal with Moose S1. 40% negative attack destroys him. Ooh, that is smart. Oh, that is smart. Yeah, he does get a lot of attack, so reducing his attack or finding a way to stall him out with extra defenses or negative attack. There are multiple solutions to this. To your discretion, Moose is a very creative one. I didn't think of that. Come on, guys, come on. You're the only ones left. Well, swing, swing. So, I think IFRIT can solo him. Ah!
Mission accomplished.
Also, I don't get why this game mode doesn't have the support system. Every other game mode you could borrow from your you could borrow operators from your friends, but for some reason Reclamation Algorithm doesn't let you borrow support characters. So it's weird. It makes you rely on your built operators even more. So if you have a weaker library, it's gonna be a struggle. 17 days. Okay, there we go. Moose is really popular. Oh, okay. First time I'm hearing that. Anyway, that should be a run of Reclamation Algorithm. We did a bunch of boss raids. And I think that was fun. I don't think we have time for another run. So eventually I will have to complete this. Anyway, I have a month and I already have a solution to most problems in this game mode. Definitely has things to work with. I still have to edit our discussion video from last stream where we talk about the multiple game modes of Arknights, what I think about them and how they could be improved. It's a 40-minute discussion that I have to edit down, and I've been lazy reading One Piece, so I'll be lazy about that. We'll have our discussion about Unity, I think, tomorrow. It was a lot shorter than last stream's discussion. That's definitely going to be a shorter thing for me to edit. But for now, I think this is pretty alright for us to end. You were expecting to borrow IFRIT to combine her with her serum, but you couldn't. Yeah, I don't get why Reclamation Algorithm doesn't let you borrow stuff. Maybe they're testing the strength of people's accounts, I don't know. It's just weird that it doesn't let you borrow your friends' operators. Anyway, this should be it for now, friendos. We had a very eventful stream. One Piece update is once again the start of the stream because that is all I do. I am currently at Dressrosa. I'm enjoying the new world arcs, especially Dressrosa. Thank you to all the friendos that stopped by. It was a very lively stream. I don't usually have this many people stop by for stream, especially chatting this much. So it's been very, very fun for me. Thank you guys for stopping by. But for now, I'm a peace out. Once again, my name is Nez, and thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you all next time, friendos. Maybe, oh yeah, we're gonna have the EX stages of Monster Hunter coming out like today or tomorrow. So our next stream, we're gonna be doing our EX stages. That's gonna be fun. Surely nothing wrong is gonna happen. Surely Rathalos won't kick our ass and burn us to a crisp. Surely. Anyway, friendos, I'm peace out. Goodbye, goodbye.